Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the 7 levels of wrestling. Reacted to the 7 levels of rappers, and for the 7 levels of wrestlers. So this should be interesting. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Prepare to see plenty of these clones. When they make an NBA one, we own that. When they make a football one, we own that. They make a porn star one. We own that. You know what I'm saying? We doing it. We out here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about that one comment, two comments that people can't hold back. Don't let your thoughts win. Don't let your gooner thoughts win.
But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into it.
What separates a WWE superstar from a glorified punching bag? The answer isn't what you think it is. I've identified 7 levels of WWE wrestlers, and understanding this hidden hierarchy explains everything about why your favorite wrestler can't catch a break while someone else gets handed championship after championship. From professional losers to cultural icons, each level has its own rules,
Fuck off,
and moving between them has almost nothing to do with talent. The real factors that determine success will surprise you. Now, let's start at the bottom of the ladder with wrestlers whose entire job is making other people look good.
Damn.
Level 1. Jobbers and enhancement talent. These are the wrestlers who get paid to lose, and they're really good at it.
Hey.
Welcome to Level 1, where professional wrestling's most...
Say what you want, but them niggas make bank. I think the lowest WWE a wrestler gets paid, a WWE wrestler in specific, not any other wrestling promotion, just WWE Pacific. I think the lowest you can get paid, if you're not in NXT or on the development scene, if you're on the main roster and you're a jobber, even if you're not on television, I think the least you get paid is like $350,000 a year. 350,000 to be in catering. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. The WWE life. The WWE life. If only my knees weren't fucked up. I would definitely be a wrestler right now if my knees weren't fucked up.
Most important players might also be its least successful ones. Every wrestling company needs jobbers and enhancement talent. These wrestlers form the foundation of WWE's pyramid, and their job is simple: make the other guy look good. They show up, get beaten up, and make the winners seem stronger than they actually are.
Yep.
Without jobbers, there would be no heroes to cheer for. Let's take a look at some classic examples. Barry Horowitz spent years as enhancement talent, losing match after match to help establish rising stars. But Horowitz became famous for patting himself on the back after taking punishment, turning his role into something memorable. When he finally scored an upset victory over Skip in 1995, fans went crazy because they had invested in his journey. Iron Mike Sharp called himself Canada's greatest athlete despite losing constantly. His black arm brace and over-the-top personality made him more entertaining than many wrestlers who actually won matches. Fans remembered Sharp long after they forgot the people who beat him. Here's where things get weird. Some jobbers became way more memorable than the wrestlers they were supposed to help elevate. Brooklyn Brawler worked for decades as enhancement talent, but his longevity and consistent character work made him a cult favorite among wrestling fans. Moving on to more recent examples, smaller names have found strange fame by embracing their losing roles. James Ellsworth turned his unconventional appearance into a trademark that got him championship opportunities and main event storylines. Kurt Hawkins went on an infamous long losing streak, but instead of hiding from this embarrassment, he turned it into entertainment gold by making jokes about it on social media and building storylines around when it would finally end. So as you can see, wrestlers like Heath Slater perfected this approach with his desperate family man character. Slater made getting beaten up entertaining by playing someone who just needed to pay his bills. Fans connected with that struggle more than they connected with most main event storylines. What happened was that enhancement talent often develops the strongest fan connections. They become genuinely beloved by audiences not because they won matches, but because they made losing entertaining. The best jobbers understood that entertainment value matters more than win-loss records. As a result, some jobbers achieved something many main eventers never do. They became paradoxically successful failures who lost matches but won over audiences, proving that sometimes being memorable matters more than being pushed.
Hey man, just goes to show, man. It's just some play. It's sad because a lot of people have main character syndrome and fail to realize not everybody that jumps into this business is going to be the main character. You're not going to be the main character. Sometimes your character just don't hit. It happens, bro. Your character just don't hit, bro. It's nothing. Hey man, it's just something that's just gonna happen. People not gonna take you seriously. You know what I'm saying? I do hate that the people that don't do anything get pushes, aka Natalia. I don't get how once in a full blue moon Natalia gets a title run out of nowhere. I don't get that. Why she being catering 365 and then just randomly for one pay-per-view. Natalia, you want a title match? Sure. Just sitting in the back, doing absolutely nothing, and gets a title shot. Now those are the people I have a problem with. People like Heath Slater, I don't have a problem with them coming on and getting their ass whooped every night. It don't matter to me. The LWO, they come out every week and get their ass whooped every night. Uh, that's fine by me. I don't mind that. Santos Escobar, I don't mind that at all. Um, not everybody's supposed to be the main character. Sometimes you just got to play the role. Sometimes you a mid carder. Sometimes you a jobber. Hey man, you gotta understand. You may not, you may have a cult following, but you're not main event worthy, man. Come on, dog. It takes a lot to carry the business. You can't just be just good in the ring. You got to carry the business. You got to talk on the mic. You got to walk that walk. You got to look that look. You know what I'm saying? Some dudes got it in the ring, but everywhere else they suck. You know what I'm saying? But the fans will fuck with him because, oh, he's good in the ring. He's good in the ring. It is some people, they good on the mic, but they terrible in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I still say Karrion Kross should do well in other promotions not named WWE. Um, I still feel that way. I don't see what people see in Karrion Kross. I understand he's a good talker, but he don't walk that walk and he don't look that look, bro. He is not there. He gives off jobber mid carder at best, United States champion at best. WWE champion? Fuck no. Never saw it in him. But hey, that's what makes us all different. Some people see the good in some see absolutely nothing in a person. It is what it is.
It's fair to say that jobbers can be beloved and memorable, which is ironically how some of them jump level. But not every wrestler who disappears from the spotlight started at the bottom. Level 2, failed call-ups, and forgotten faces. Level 2, wrestlers arrived with all the hype in the world, then vanished faster than a magic trick gone wrong. What happened to them reveals WWE's biggest booking problem. Failed call-ups are wrestlers who had momentum elsewhere, but lost it immediately upon joining WWE's main roster. These performers came from NXT, other wrestling companies, or independent circuits with established fan bases and proven abilities. They arrived with expectations and excitement, only to disappear into wrestling's equivalent of the witness protection program.
To be fair, to be fair, it could also be sometimes these guys do something behind the scenes that gets them shellacked. Like maybe they were on a trajectory of being that next guy, but for somehow they did something in the back that pissed somebody off, and next thing you know, they in mid card jobber hell because they don't understand because they did something wrong and they don't understand the rules. Now some people get out of it, like the Miz. The Miz used to be in that position, but look where he ended up. He ended up becoming a WWE champion, probably one of the best heel runs I've ever seen as a champion. Um, Beat John Cena at WrestleMania. That's crazy. While being concussed and not knowing what the fuck was going on that entire match. But hey, teach his own, teach his own. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do things in the back that you shouldn't have done. Sometimes you say things. Sometimes you shoot from the hip when you shouldn't have shot from the hip, and you end up fucking yourself over. Sometimes people let their ego and their pride get the best of them, and it turns out, hey, you know, We can't just say it's the company. Sometimes we do. Sometimes it is the individuals themselves that do stupid shit behind the scenes that get themselves stuck in mid Carter hell or jobber hell.
The mystery of how talented wrestlers can become completely forgettable overnight, despite having all the tools for success, haunts WWE's recent history. These wrestlers didn't lose their abilities when they walked through WWE's doors. They didn't suddenly forget how to wrestle or connect with audiences. Something in WWE's system made them invisible. Let's take a look at Bo Dallas, who started with an impressive NXT run that showcased his unique motivational speaker character. Bo Dallas had a gimmick that connected with audiences and made him memorable. What happened was WWE turned him into a generic character with no clear direction whatsoever.
He was on, that's a key thing. He was on NXT where you could make a character like that. When you go to the main roster, you got to understand there's established characters there. And the thing is, those characters are so established and they've put so much work in that somebody like Bo Dallas coming in and doing his gimmick, it may not land with the main audience. You know what I'm saying? It can work at NXT because that's a different that's a different niche. There's not you can build your character there, but you have to find a way to stand out in the land. That's why some of these guys are on the main event scene, because they stand out because they put in that work. Their characters are solidified. The tribal chief is solidified. You think somebody like Bo Dallas can be on the same main roster with a tribal chief, Roman Reigns? No, absolutely not. If Bo Dallas got moved up to the roster at the same time Roman Reigns turned into the tribal chief, Bo Dallas would probably be a hot gimmick for a minute and everybody be focused on Roman Reigns. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Not all. There's a reason why certain things work at NXT, because you're building a character there. There's not unique characters there, so you can be a unique character in a small pond. But once you step out into that big ocean where it's just nothing but characters, nothing but legends, nothing but icons that you have to compete with on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Come on, dog. No. It's not going to work like that, bro. It's not going to work like that, bruv.
Bo Dallas and Tyler Breeze both got main roster packaging that stripped away the NXT character work that had made them special, which is a common theme among failed call-ups. Tyler Breeze went from being a memorable fashion-obsessed character in NXT to just another guy in wrestling gear on the main roster. WWE never gave him meaningful storylines that played to his strengths or showcased what made him different from other wrestlers. Moving on to the Vaudevillains, who transformed from a unique old-timey tag team with clear characters to forgettable wrestlers who disappeared completely.
Then one of them had some allegations on them, and that's what messed up that group. Then one of them had allegations.
The Vaudevillains had a gimmick that stood out in NXT, but WWE never figured out how to present their vintage carnival act to mainstream audiences in compelling ways. So, as you can see, Enzo Amore tells a similar story before backstage issues ended his run. Enzo went from being one of the most charismatic talkers in NXT to struggling with booking decisions that didn't maximize his speaking.
He kind of did it to himself. From all the stories I heard about him, he was an asshole behind the scenes. So if he was causing so much drama in the locker room to the point where they had to kick him out, he kind of did that to himself, bro.
His partnership with Big Cass worked in NXT but fell apart on the main roster. It's fair to say that Mojo Rawley and Lars Sullivan represent examples of wrestlers who somehow became less interesting after their call-ups despite showing potential in developmental. Mojo Rawley had energy and enthusiasm that connected with some audiences, but WWE never built meaningful storylines around his character. Lars Sullivan dealt with various issues that prevented him from establishing himself on the main roster. As a result, WWE often takes wrestlers' unique qualities and strips away what made them successful elsewhere.
I don't agree with that. The last two you brought up, hold on, let's go back for a second. Can we go back for a second, bruv? Can we go back for a second, bruv?
but WWE never built meaningful storylines around his character. Lars Sullivan dealt with various issues.
With Mojo Rawley, it was cool. With Mojo Rawley, it was cool. And they was giving him a chance, but his character just wasn't really moving like that, bruh. His character wasn't moving after the Baron Corbin thing. Where was Mojo Rawley gonna go after this? What meaningful? What you have to also understand too. You have to be meaningful in a storyline. You can't just be thrown into a storyline and just say, hey, show us something, give us something. No, you have to have a meaningful storyline. They gave him a meaningful storyline, and it was like, okay, let's give him a test run. Let's see how he does here in this match against this guy. Let's see if he's United States Championship worthy. Let's see if he's Intercontinental Championship worthy. They put you in a spotlight. They see how you do. You don't meet the expectations, they push you to the back. It's just that simple. You don't meet the expectations. They do give people shots. It's just up to you how you go about it.
That prevented him from establishing himself on the main roster. As a result, WWE often takes wrestlers' unique qualities and strips away what made them successful elsewhere. The company has a system that tries to fit every wrestler into predetermined molds, regardless of what made them work in NXT or other promotions. These wrestlers often fail not because of lack of talent, but because WWE's creative process doesn't know how to book characters that don't fit their standard templates. Bad creative decisions, tone-deaf repackaging, and failure to understand what made wrestlers special in the first place become common reasons for these disappearances. The pattern becomes clear when you look at multiple examples. Wrestlers arrive with momentum, get repackaged or misused, then fade into obscurity despite having the look, the moves, and the crowd connection. They just didn't get the booking that could have made them stars. But some wrestlers find ways to survive this system by carving out different roles entirely. They accept their position and figure out how to make the most of limited opportunities. Level 3. Lower card regulars. These wrestlers appear on TV every week but somehow never actually matter. Lower card regulars are wrestling's workhorses who show up.
Now, I don't know about Crime Time there now.
Reliable entertainment and keep weekly programming moving without ever threatening the main event picture. Here's where things get interesting.
I don't know about Crime Time being a goddamn low level. I don't think Crime Time was low level. Crime Time was taken very seriously. Every gimmick they came up with was pure hilarity, bro. Sometimes I don't think they a low level like that. I don't think Crime Time was a low level. I would probably say that was a level 4 at best, whatever for level 4 gonna be. But they was not no level 3, bro. They wasn't no jobbers or nothing like that. They actually won matches. I think they had something going on with Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade. They set them up and then they got fired, and then the fans wanted them back because they was funny. It was funny as fuck, bro. Going around stealing people's shit. The only time they was wrong was during that Lita farewell. With Lita last match, that shit was kind of foul, bro. They didn't have to do that. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Wrestlers who never matter often become fan favorites
RP
and cultural
Shad.
phenomena. Fans connect with these underdogs more than they connect with pushed superstars. The wrestlers who aren't supposed to be special somehow become the most beloved performers on the roster. Let's start with R-Truth's evolution from generic rapper gimmick to comedy gold. Truth started his WWE career as a serious performer with a hip-hop character that nobody really cared about. What happened was, he gradually became the funniest person in WWE by accident. His 24/7 championship antics turned him into must-see television every week. Truth's ability to make anything entertaining became legendary. He would show up in random backstage segments, interact with fans during his entrances, and create memorable moments out of nothing. His championship reigns with the 24/7 title involved hiding in airports, getting pinned at his own birthday party, and being chased around backstage by other wrestlers. Truth made a meaningless championship feel important through pure entertainment value. It's fair to say that Heath Slater mastered being the lovable loser better than anyone else. Slater
That's not Heath Slater, that's The Miz.
Compelling television with his everyman character who just wanted to provide for his family. Slater would show up to get destroyed by returning legends, part-time wrestlers, and special attractions. Instead of making him look weak, these segments made him sympathetic. Fans wanted to see Slater succeed because he represented the working-class wrestler trying to survive in a business that didn't care about him.
He's not the best at this though. The real legend at this is Spike Dudley. That's the real person you should have brought up. You should have brought up Spike Dudley. Spike Dudley used to go through the rigor, boy. They used to beat the fuck. No, Spike Dudley actually wanted to get beat up by people. I think Undertaker talked about one time. Him and Spike Dudley was supposed to have a match, and Spike Dudley was like, "That's it? That's all you're gonna do? You're just gonna choke slam me and give me a last ride and a choke slam, and that's it?" Nah, man, come on, man. Give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more, man. You're the big guy. You're supposed to beat the shit out of me. Like Spike Dudley lived for that shit. Spike, yo, they used to torture Spike Dudley, man. That's the real legend right there. Fuck Heath Slater. Spike Dudley is the real goat of this shit.
So, as you can see, Tyler Breeze and Fandango took a different approach to staying relevant. Both started as serious characters with specific gimmicks. Breeze was the narcissistic model, and Fandango was the ballroom dancer. When these gimmicks stopped working on the main roster after their NXT success, they embraced comedy to stay on television. Their partnership created the Fashion Police segments, which became some of the most entertaining content on SmackDown. They made fun of other wrestlers' fashion choices while wearing ridiculous outfits themselves. These segments had nothing to do with wrestling but kept both wrestlers visible and entertaining. What happened was, they found a way to stay relevant by leaning into viral moments and meme-worthy content. Moving on to the bigger picture, these wrestlers found success by accepting their role and maximizing entertainment value within their limitations. They understood they weren't going to main event WrestleMania, so they focused on being memorable in whatever time they were given. As a result, lower card regulars often have more job security and fan affection than wrestlers in higher positions because they found their niche and made themselves indispensable through consistent entertainment value. They make careers out of longevity and genuine fan connection. But what happens when WWE decides to reward these workhorses with championship gold? You might think holding a title would elevate their status and importance. The reality is far more complicated than that. Level 4. Mid-card champions. Mid-card champions hold championship gold, but in many modern periods, the secondary titles have felt like holding patterns rather than guaranteed stepping stones. Creative choices, not talent, often determine whether a reign launches someone up the card. Mid-card champions are wrestlers stuck in wrestling purgatory. They're too good for jobber duty but never quite reach main event status. These performers hold the Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship, and other secondary titles that should represent stepping stones to bigger
Tag
things.
team championship.
Instead, these championships have become dead.
Let's include the tag team championships in here. That's a mid-card title as well. The tag team championships are mid-card. Depending on the team, because depending on the team that got them, like for instance, let's say the Usos, when they was in the Bloodline, okay, now that title has been elevated because of the Uso status. But you put that title on the Judgment Day, it's kind of a mid-card title, I'm just saying. Now, if you put the title on, the tag team titles on like Bronson Reed and You put them on the bronze. You put them on the bronze. That title now becomes elevated because now you put it on two guys who can elevate that title. So let's not leave the tag team titles out of here too. That's a mid-card title too. That's a great mid-card title for certain superstars who may be on the cusp of main event status, but they still got a little bit more to go. Still a little bit more to go.
Ends that keep wrestlers trapped in the same spot for years. The frustrating reality is that holding a championship doesn't guarantee importance or memorable storylines in modern WWE. These titles change hands regularly, but nobody really cares when they do. The championships feel like props rather than meaningful achievements that wrestlers fight desperately to obtain and keep. Let's start with The Miz's eternal role as Intercontinental Champion. The Miz has won this championship multiple times and made a career out of making the Intercontinental title feel important through sheer charisma. He talks about bringing prestige back to the championship, creates elaborate entrance presentations, and cuts passionate promos about the title's history.
You could say the same thing for Chris Jericho too.
What happened was, The Miz became better at selling the importance of the championship than WWE's creative team was at actually making it important. His title reigns would feature forgettable feuds with rotating opponents. But The Miz's commitment to the character made people believe the championship mattered more than the booking suggested. Moving on to Dolph Ziggler's cycle of winning and losing mid-card titles without ever advancing his character or storylines. Ziggler has held the Intercontinental Championship and United States Championship numerous times, but each reign feels exactly like the previous ones. The repetitive nature of his booking has made his championship victories predictable and unexciting. Ziggler would win the title, defend it against the same group of wrestlers he always faces, lose it after a few months, then win it back again later. His character never grows or changes based on these championship experiences. The titles become meaningless because they don't represent progress in his career. It's fair to say that Cesaro's incredible in-ring ability was wasted on forgettable championship runs that never led to bigger opportunities despite fan support. Cesaro is one of the most gifted wrestlers in WWE, capable of having excellent matches with anyone. His United States Championship reigns should have been launching pads to main event status. Instead, Cesaro's championship runs were filled with random defenses against whoever was available that week. WWE never built compelling storylines around his reigns or used them to establish him as a serious main event contender. Fans constantly chanted for Cesaro to get better opportunities, but his championship success never translated into career advancement. Rey Mysterio's later United States Championship runs seemed designed to keep him happy and visible, without giving him anything truly significant to do. Shinsuke Nakamura's Intercontinental Championship reigns felt like
I'm trying to figure out what level we at now. I'm confused, bro. What level are we at here? I thought this was about to be levels. See, I hate when people rip off other videos and go in a completely different direction and then take the video completely off the rails. I'm like, what level are we at now?
WWE acknowledging his talent while refusing to use him properly. As a result, Sheamus became the template for the eternal mid-card champion, cycling through the same.
Because this sounds like you just ripping in on WWE and their booking decisions as of lately, which I mean I agree with, but that's not what this video was meant for. It feels like you're just ranting about WWE and they booking decisions, and you're not really giving me character. I thought we were talking about the levels of wrestler. It seems like we're just rambling on about wrestlers who didn't get their shots or whatever. It's like, bro, it's like I thought we were focusing on certain levels of each wrestler. Where are we at right now? I'm confused. I'm lost. Where's this video going? Because I'm confused now.
Feuds and storylines for years. Sheamus would hold championships, lose them, disappear for a while, then come back to win them again. His career became an endless loop of mid-card championship matches that never led anywhere meaningful. The belt's intended purpose as a stepping stone gets twisted into a holding pattern that actually hurts wrestlers by keeping them trapped in the same position. But some wrestlers do manage to break through this ceiling and reach the next level, where different challenges await them entirely. Level 5, main event players. These wrestlers live in the main event scene, but their careers depend entirely on creative swings and company priorities. Those priorities change faster than WWE storylines. Main event players are wrestlers who regularly compete for world championships, but who...
Hey, yo, what's going on with the audio levels? The audio levels is up and down. 1 minute is low as hell, the next minute is high as fuck. What the fuck is going on with the audio levels, bro?
Success depends on factors beyond their control. These performers have the talent, look, and fan support to headline pay-per-view events and carry major storylines. They're considered top-tier wrestlers by almost every measure that matters in professional wrestling. The precarious nature of main event status means wrestlers can go from champion to afterthought based on creative whims and shifting business needs. Unlike lower-level wrestlers who have predictable roles, Main eventers face constant uncertainty about their booking and character direction. Let's start with Kevin Owens, who's been repackaged several times from prizefighter to corporate heel to comedic partner, illustrating how main event booking can be inconsistent. Each repackaging reset his momentum and forced fans to adjust to a new version of the same wrestler. Moving on to AJ Styles, whose brilliant in-ring work has been paired with inconsistent creative direction throughout his WWE run. Styles has proven himself as one of the best wrestlers in the world through incredible matches and championship reigns, but his character would shift from face to heel without clear reasoning, and his feuds sometimes lacked the storytelling depth his talent deserved. It's fair to say that Seth Rollins demonstrates how main eventers get repeatedly repackaged when creative teams change their minds about storyline directions. Rollins went from being the chosen one to Monday Night Messiah to a face character that fans rejected, with each character shift undermining previous momentum. So as you can see, some main eventers climb because of fan pressure, like Kofi Kingston during Kofi Mania, while others rise and fall based on creative whims alone. Kingston's championship run happened because fan heat forced WWE's hand, proving that audience demand can sometimes override creative preferences. What happened was wrestlers like Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Braun Strowman represent examples of wrestlers whose pushes depend entirely on creative team preferences and storyline requirements. McIntyre was chosen as the face of WWE.
That's not how you spell
during the
McIntyre.
pandemic,
What the fuck is
won
that?
championships, then was moved back down when creative priorities changed. Lashley had multiple runs as a dominant champion, but his pushes always seemed to depend on whether creative teams viewed him as a priority at that moment. Strowman was built up as a monster, won championships, then was released and brought back based on changing business needs. As a result, wrestlers like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk represent both the potential and frustrations of main event level booking. Both wrestlers had incredible talent and fan support, but their careers were shaped by creative team decisions that sometimes worked against their success. Main event players have the most volatile careers because they're valuable enough to be featured but not protected enough to be untouchable. They exist in a space where their success depends on maintaining favor with decision makers who can change their minds quickly. The constant uncertainty creates a strange situation where being a main event player can be more stressful than being stuck in the mid-card. At least mid-card wrestlers know what to expect from their booking. Main eventers never know if they'll be champion or forgotten next month. But there's one level above this chaos where wrestlers achieve something that makes them immune to creative team mood swings. These performers didn't just survive the system, they became bigger than it. Level 6, Legends and Hall of Famers. Level 6 represents wrestlers who created the blueprint for what wrestling stardom looks like and remain more relevant than most active performers today. Legends are wrestlers who transcended their era and became the measuring stick for all future performers. These wrestlers didn't just succeed during their time, they defined what success looked like for everyone who came after them. Every modern wrestler gets compared to these legends, whether they want that comparison or not. Modern wrestlers face an impossible challenge when competing with legends who benefit from nostalgia and mythical status. Time has a way of making everything seem better than it actually was, and wrestling legends get the full benefit of that nostalgia effect. Their worst matches get forgotten while their best moments become legendary stories that grow more impressive with each retelling. Let's start with The Rock's evolution from Rocky Maivia to the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. The Rock turned mic work into a cultural phenomenon and mastered every aspect of wrestling performance in ways that modern wrestlers still try to copy. Moving on to Stone Cold Steve Austin's perfect timing during the Attitude Era. Austin symbolized anti-authority energy that drove the Attitude Era and captured the cultural zeitgeist when people were frustrated with corporate control and wanted to see someone fight back against the system. It's fair to say that The Undertaker's streak and supernatural character represent examples of how legends created moments that transcend wrestling itself. The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak became bigger than wrestling because it represented something that didn't exist anywhere else in entertainment, and turned every WrestleMania match into a genuine question about whether something truly special would end. So as you can see, other Hall of Famers defined different aspects of wrestling excellence, from technical ability to storytelling to cultural impact. Bret Hart showed that technical wrestling could be emotional and compelling. Mick Foley proved that willingness to sacrifice your body could create legendary moments.
Facts.
Shawn Michaels demonstrated that smaller wrestlers could steal shows from bigger stars.
Yep.
As a result, these wrestlers became legends by combining talent, timing, and cultural relevance in ways that modern wrestlers struggle to replicate. They didn't just wrestle well, they existed at the perfect intersection of ability, character, and cultural moment that created something special. Every young performer is measured against these blueprints, which is why breaking out now feels so hard. Legends achieved immortality by becoming synonymous with wrestling's greatest moments and cultural shifts, making them irreplaceable. They didn't just participate in wrestling history, they became wrestling history in ways that can never be duplicated. Legends matter because they defined what's possible, not only in the ring but in culture and timing. But even legendary status isn't the highest level a wrestler can reach. There's one final tier that goes beyond wrestling fame entirely. Level 7. Cultural icons. Cultural icons represent the ultimate level of wrestling success, where performers become global. Level 7. Cultural icons.
Why cut off?
Cultural icons represent the ultimate level of wrestling success, where performers become global phenomena that extend far beyond sports entertainment. These wrestlers broke through the ceiling that separates wrestling from mainstream culture and became famous not just for what they did in the ring, but for who they became outside of it. The rarity of achieving this status cannot be overstated. It requires perfect alignment of talent, timing, and cultural factors that rarely come together. Thousands of wrestlers have tried to reach this level, but only a handful have ever succeeded. The difference between a wrestling legend and a cultural icon is the ability to connect with people who never watch wrestling. Let's start with Hulk Hogan's.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. 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 Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
The time we want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I should point out for the record.
Fuck Hulk Hogan, nigga. Yeah, take that, brother. Fuck Hulk Hogan. Cultural icon, my ass.
Transformation of wrestling from niche entertainment to mainstream
He
phenomenon.
ruined his
and
cultural
his role as the
icon
pop
status.
culture face of WrestleMania. Hogan appeared on talk shows, starred in movies, and became a household name that parents recognized even if they never watched wrestling. His catchphrases became part of American culture, and kids who weren't allowed to watch wrestling still knew who Hulk Hogan was because he existed everywhere in popular culture. Moving on to Andre the Giant's unique physical presence and how his role in The Princess Bride made him beloved by audiences who had no idea he was a wrestler. Andre was 7 feet 4 inches tall and weighed over 500 pounds, making him impossible to ignore wherever he appeared. He became a folk legend whose stories grew more impressive with each telling, and people who hated wrestling still found Andre fascinating because his physical presence was unlike anything they had ever seen. It's fair to say that John Cena represents modern paths to cultural relevance through his record-breaking charity work and Hollywood career.
Yep.
Cena granted over 650 Make-A-Wish requests, more than any other celebrity in the organization's history, making him famous among people who never watch wrestling but respect his charitable work. He also starred in major Hollywood movies, hosted television shows, and became a legitimate mainstream celebrity. So, as you can see, The Rock's complete transformation from wrestler to global movie star shows how wrestling can be a launching pad to even greater fame. The Rock became one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood and one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. His movies have made billions of dollars worldwide, and his social media following includes millions of people who have never watched a wrestling match. Some icons carried controversies with them, but their cultural reach was undeniable. These wrestlers became household names even among people who never watch wrestling, achieving true mainstream cultural penetration.
Hey,
They
yo.
appeared in movies, television shows, commercials, and news stories that had nothing to do with wrestling. As a result, cultural icons achieved something beyond wrestling success. They became symbols and references in popular culture that will outlast their careers and continue influencing entertainment long after they stop performing. Cultural icons prove wrestling can make household names if the stars, the timing, and the moment all line up. What's fascinating is that reaching any of these
Why
levels
is John
isn't
Cena
always
in the
permanent. Wrestlers can jump between tiers in ways that defy logic and expectations. Now, the big question, how do wrestlers move between tiers? The most dramatic career changes happen when wrestlers suddenly shoot up the ladder overnight or fall faster than a steel cage match. Level jumping is the most unpredictable aspect of WWE careers, where talent often matters less than timing and politics. A wrestler can spend years grinding away at the same level, then suddenly find themselves catapulted to main event status based on decisions that have nothing to do with their wrestling ability. Others can fall from the top of the mountain to complete irrelevance in a matter of weeks. The shocking reality is that merit rarely determines who gets pushed and who gets buried in WWE's hierarchy system. Wrestling fans assume that hard work, talent, and fan support lead to success, but the evidence suggests otherwise. The wrestlers who move up and down these levels often do so for reasons that have nothing to do with what happens inside the ring. Let's start with Zack Ryder's brief rise to relevance through social media.
All right, bro. This video going on long enough, bro. How much time we got left? Cause we done made it to the bro. We good, bro. This nigga just yapping, bro. This AI generated slop. This is AI generated slop. Terrible video. L video, bro. I thought this is what I get for trying to react to the clone videos. AI slop. I should have known that the AI slop was coming, bro. With these clone videos to videos that were already successful. Then they make a clone video. This is terrible. This is terrible. Whoever made this video, you are a lazy, pathetic human being. To make some AI generated slop, bro. This is garbage. This is a garbage video. L video, bro. Throw this shit in the trash, bro. Throw this shit in the trash, bro. This shit is garbage, bro.
Get this sorry ass nigga out of here! You suck!
Get this AI garbage up out of here, bro. Throw this shit in the trash, bro. Out of here. Out of here. Garbage. Straight garbage. Throw it away. But anyways, though, I just gonna about do it for this one. This video got on long enough. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. 40 minutes of straight AI slop just ranting and raving about rapper. No, bro. Just get in, get out. The seven levels of rapper video was only 13 minutes long. How is this damn near 30 minutes long? And you know what? I gotta start watching the videos now before. If it's AI generated slop, I'm not watching it, bro. I'm so sick and tired of these AI generated videos, bro.